Hey there, it's Longest Distance again. Got another video, another topic that I think about way too much. This is traditional and digital. Last year, I really started thinking about it because I was on Instagram a lot, and there are like a bunch of amazing artists who they do stuff with painting and markers and pencils. So I feel like it's kind of like a traditional oriented art community there, unless that's just the people I was following. But I was looking at them and I was thinking, like, why can't I draw like that? Why can't I do that? Like, these people draw on paper and it looks perfect the first time. Um, so I decided to do my own little Inktober in August of 2017, and most of my drawings looked like poo. And it made me start thinking about my art, like, am I not actually as good as I thought I was all this time? And I was really questioning my abilities as an artist. So I thought maybe I was just getting really lazy because, I really was lazy with drawing before then. Like, I would just kind of not put in a lot of effort because I knew I was just going to fix it on the computer. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna make this hand into like a weird octopus blob thing because I'll just fix it later. So I think for me, one of my big mistakes was, what do I want to say? Not doing a good job the first time. And I think that I relied too much on the undo function on the computer. So I trained myself to like put in low effort. So I'm not blaming the computer, I'm blaming myself. And I know I'm always kicking myself, but this is a positive topic. We're going to talk about how great traditional art is and how great digital art is. And I think what's really interesting is learning how they complement each other and how it changes how you work in general. So, yeah, my biggest issue was that I was just super lazy with my traditional drawings. I mean, I wasn't even trying. It was like, okay, I'm just gonna scribble this down, but I'll fix everything on the computer. So, you know what? I wasn't taking the time to learn anything. I was just scribbling it down. And I mean, if that's how you want to work, that's fine, but my issue was that I just wasn't putting in the effort, and that's why I wasn't improving because, I just, no, I'll just fix this later. I mean, you can do that, but that's all I ever did. I was just like, I don't feel like drawing this line. I don't feel like drawing this face. But, I mean, I don't know. What can I say? It was just, I look at my old sketchbooks and it was just like all these really low effort doodles. Like, even for pictures that I colored on the computer, they look completely different because it was like, I'm like, how did I even get a picture out of this? It's just like scribbles. I don't know, but I mean, if that's how you want to work, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think what matters is that you do a good job the first time. So, I don't know. That was just my big thing is I was a lazy butt. And I relied too much on Control Z. And I mean, I think as digital artists, we always have our hand on the keyboard anyway because of all the shortcuts. But I mean, I trained myself to just be too reliant on it, I guess. And that was my fault, not the computer's fault. But I think after spending some more time with traditional, it's made me more careful and conscious of like what I'm doing. Like, especially when you work with ink, like, like you really got to commit to what's on the paper because, there's no turning back. And I think, I know some people say you should work quickly when you're like a learning artist, but I personally disagree. I think you should take your time. you should slow down, but don't focus on making it perfect. Just do the best job as you can, but don't rush through it either. I think, I don't know. I mean, I think everyone's experiences are different. I'm just speaking from my own experiences and kind of just saying things I wish I could tell my younger self, which is a recurring theme. It's just, I know it sounds like I'm always kicking myself, and I guess I am, but it's also me, like, reflecting on my mistakes and how I improved and learned over the years, and I want to share my experiences with you guys. But yeah, when I started my little ink challenge, all my drawings looked really bad. But you know what? I was venturing into a new skill, so it's okay that they looked bad. Because up till then, I was only used to drawing on the computer. And I've been doing a lot of drawing practice since then. I love coloring, but I put it on the back burner. And I feel like I've made a lot of progress since last year, and I'm more comfortable drawing. And I feel like doing all this traditional drawing has made me rely less on undo on the computer or like the eraser in real life. It made me more conscious of like every brush or line that I make. So I think that's how practicing traditional has helped me as an artist overall. So I definitely think I was wrong in believing that my true skill was reflected in how well I did with traditional. It was just a new skill. I mean, software requires knowledge and experience. I mean, like, I tried out 3ds Max, and I still have no idea how the heck it works. So if someone says, well, digital art isn't real, the computer does it for you, we'll just tell them, well, why don't you make me something in 3ds Max and watch how quickly they change their tune, because, you know, digital art isn't as easy as you think. And I'm sure a lot of you know that, because I'm guessing most of the people watching this are also digital artists. So yeah, just don't pay attention to people who say, oh, digital art isn't real art. Like, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know any better. And it's like, you know what, I don't care. Like, I'm an artist. I do art, so I'm valid as an artist. So, but I mean, really, I do think that it would be great to do both traditional and digital. Like, obviously, you stick with the one you prefer, but I'm a big supporter of, like, experimenting and trying different things out, because it will all, like, lead back into your main medium of choice in interesting ways, because it, like, changes how you work, and it, like, opens up new possibilities. Like all my digital art experience made me better at picking out colors, and all my traditional practice, it's like I said, it helped me with getting things right the first time. Like, I'm proud to say that nowadays, when I load a sketch into the computer for coloring, I barely change it at all. Like, maybe I'll tweak a few things, but it's not like before where I just have this really crappy chicken scratch sketch and I'd have to spend like 3 hours fixing the drawing before I could start lining it. Those days are gone forever, and I'm just so glad. And it's just so much more satisfying to have the drawing on the sketchbook, like a finished drawing, not a crappy scribble. So that's how practicing traditional has helped me as a digital artist. There are some valid points about the cons of digital. And I think the biggest for me would be its lack of presence or physical properties. Like, you go into a gallery and you can walk up to a really small painting, or you can walk up to one that's like 10 feet tall. And it leaves an impression on you in a way that I don't think digital stuff can do, since it's on a screen. So, and there's also the fact that traditional has an original copy. Like, the original is the one with the story. So, like, if you reprint it, you're just getting a copy, and it doesn't have the backstory because it's not the one that Leonardo painted, you know? So, those are some of the cons against it. I wouldn't say against it, but I mean, like, obviously they both have their pros and cons. I don't believe one is superior or inferior. Because, I mean, on the other hand, traditional art, it's like, it's messy, it's expensive, it's not easy to take risks because, you know, you have limited materials, they run out, you don't want to waste them. You know, with digital, like, you can, like, experiment with stuff and not waste anything or spend $100 on art supplies. There's just much less room for error. So I think they both have their pros and cons, but I do think digital art is great. It's definitely a medium that was meant for this era, and like there are certain kinds of mediums that are really truly modern, like pixel art or 3D art, like that was made for a digital medium. Like, you can't really have pixel art in the real world. I mean, you have perler beads, but it's not really the same thing, you know? It's just, there's so many different kinds of mediums. You just gotta find out what works the best for you. And I definitely would say it's worth experimenting with different mediums, because it's gonna come back to surprise you and make you a better artist all around. Like, even if you only play with like perler beads or watercolor a couple times, it might change how you think. And it might really have a profound impact on your art in general. So I would say, you know, do you make art? Are you a traditional artist or a digital artist? Either way, you are a real artist because you make art. So I think the bottom line is just whatever medium you work with, make sure you do a good job, because if you rush through it now, it's gonna have a long-term impact on the quality of your art and your skills as an artist. And I'm speaking from personal experience. So just whatever you are, be a good one. I could probably go on about this for hours and hours, but I'm gonna end it here. I'm really interested in hearing about like your experiences and your thoughts on the matter, because I feel like there are a lot of different perspectives. Like, I want to hear from people who do mostly traditional and maybe just dabble with digital, or vice versa. But I think whatever your experience is, it's a valuable one, and I would definitely encourage you to share it. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching my video, and I will see you next time.